It was a dark and stormy night. A young woman named Laura was working late at her office, which was located on the 13th floor of a skyscraper. She had to finish an important project before the deadline, so she ignored the warnings of her coworkers who left early. She finally completed her work and packed her things. She walked to the elevator and pressed the button. The doors opened and she stepped inside. She pressed the ground floor button and waited for the elevator to move, but nothing happened. The elevator did not budge. She pressed the button again, but still nothing. She looked at the panel and saw that all the buttons were lit up. She tried to press the emergency button, but it did not work either. She started to panic. She looked for a phone or an intercom, but there was none. She banged on the doors and shouted for help, but no one answered. She felt trapped and alone. She decided to calm down and wait for someone to notice that the elevator was stuck. She hoped that the security guard or the maintenance staff would come soon. She sat on the floor and checked her phone, but there was no signal. She wondered how long she had been in the elevator. It felt like hours. She started to feel thirsty and hungry. She wished she had brought some water or snacks with her. She heard a strange noise. It sounded like a whisper. She looked around, but saw no one. She thought it was her imagination playing tricks on her. She heard it again. It was louder this time. It sounded like someone was breathing in her ear. She felt a cold breath on her neck. She screamed and jumped up. She looked at the mirror on the wall of the elevator. She saw a reflection of a pale face behind her. It had hollow eyes and a twisted smile. It was a ghost. She ran to the other side of the elevator and pressed herself against the doors. She stared at the ghost in horror. It moved closer to her, floating in the air. She tried to open the doors, but they were locked. She tried to kick them, but they did not budge. She felt helpless and hopeless. The ghost reached out its hand and touched her shoulder. She felt a jolt of pain and fear. She screamed louder than ever. The lights flickered and went out. The elevator plunged into darkness. The next morning, the security guard found Laura's body in the elevator. She was dead, with a look of terror on her face. He called the police and reported the incident. He said that he did not hear anything unusual during his shift. He did not know that there was a ghost in the elevator. He did not know that it was waiting for its next victim.